Hello, my name is Ashwin, and I'm here to talk about the 1998 ice storm compared to the 2013 ice storm. 1998 ice storm versus 2013 ice storm by Ashwin Iyer. Why I chose what I chose. At the beginning, I could not think of anything. But after a while, I actually thought that the ice storms would be a great topic to do my project on. So I chose them, but I don't exactly remember how I came up with the idea. And of what I already knew, it was pretty interesting, and also it was pretty easy to find info on. So I'm going to show you two pictures, 1998 ice storm, 2013 ice storm. And each of these are worse, but in different perspectives. And the 1998 ice storm is worse according to the internet, but the 2013 ice storm is worse according to my real-life references. Government in the 1998 ice storm. The Insurance Bureau of Canada lost $1.6 billion, which was 1/3 to 1/5 of the total cost for this ice storm, which was $5 to $7 billion. That's a lot. And it was the most expensive disaster in Canada due to damage done mainly by the snow. And by June 1998, about 600,000 insurance claims, totaling more than $1 billion, were filled. So it's basically saying about 100,000 insurance claims per month. And 12,000 hydro poles had to be replaced in 1998, which was a significantly larger amount than the 23 for the 2013 ice storm. And this time, and in 1998, the military was called for help by the government. Government in the 2013 ice storm. Ontario was helping towns which were affected by the December 2013 ice storm by working with the federal government to fund their recovery costs through a one-time ice storm assistance program. And affected towns in Ontario will get $190 million in provincial government aid for cleanup costs related to the ice storm. And the ice storm cost Toronto Hydro quite a bit. And Toronto Hydro wasn't the only hydro crew to actually help with the massive power outages. There were also hydro crews from Ottawa and USA, which Toronto called to also help. And as I said earlier, only 23 hydro poles had to be replaced this ice storm. And this time, the Insurance Bureau didn't exactly lose that much. People in the 1998 ice storm. 30 Canadians and 17 Americans died because of the ice storm. A huge amount of people sought refuge in hotels. The people had never before gone through a natural disaster like the ice storm of 1998, and many people huddled in the dark by their fireplaces, and lots of them suffered from hypothermia and carbon monoxide poisoning, and over 4 million people lost electricity. And heavy ice sheets toppled huge power plants. It was disastrous. And that's like an orange right there. And to me and a bunch of other people, it actually does look like a lot of ice to just be on an orange. I mean, you barely see ice on an orange, but if there was ice, I'm pretty sure it just glazed right around. But this is like extra. So anyways, people in the 2013 ice storm. About 1,200 New Brunswick homes and businesses had no electricity due to the thick ice storm and the following Monday snowstorm. 9 days after the ice storm hit Toronto, approximately 725 residents still didn't have power, and many people were expected to have no electricity until Boxing Day, meaning that sadly it would be a dark Christmas for them. And in total, there were over 1.5 million people who lost power, and in both ice storms had an icy aftermath. And this icy aftermath was the following Monday's snowstorm. My point of view, although it isn't much of one. I was not alive at the time of the 1998 ice storm, so I don't know how it felt, and I think it was pretty harsh. And the 2013 ice storm was no comparison in harshness. But luckily I was in Florida, so I never got to experience it. And I asked others, and they said it was very cold without power. Fun facts. 1998 ice storm. The 1998 ice storm is the most expensive disaster in Canadian history, and also the one which affected the most people. And I said that earlier. And excuse me. And in the 1998 ice storm, there are 2 inches of ice on a thin twig. Imagine how much on a tree. So that showed. That's relating to the other picture that I showed earlier of the orange. Like there's like 1.5 or 2 inches on a twig. Like that's not normal in winter. But anyways, ice storms, which are also known as glaze storms, are common in valleys. And ice storms also have the weird effect of entombing everything in the landscape with a glaze of ice so heavy that it can split trees in half and turn roads and pavements into dangerous sheets of smooth, thick ice. And ice can actually increase the weight of branches by 30 times the amount. So let's say there's a tree with their trunk being like 5 kilograms, let's just say, and they have 5 branches, which were each 1 kilogram. So that'd be 150 kilograms, because there are 5 branches, and it's 30 times, so 1 times 30 is 30. 30 times 5 is 150. Then there's also 5 times 30, which is the same thing, basically. So that'd be 300 kilograms. So something that'd be 10 kilograms, it would actually be 300. And ice storms are notoriously known to cause accidents, take power lines down, and cause serious damage. And the average amount of severe, not mild, ice storms in Illinois from November to April is 5. And so that basically means one severe ice storm per month, and one month without an ice storm. And this is severe ice storms. Oh, sorry about the phone. And okay, yeah, the phone's being answered. Okay, and people were skating on the roads after the 1998 ice storm was over. Like, there's so much ice that they could actually skate on it. Like, it was that icy. And these are my references, like my bibliography. Yeah, there's a lot. But there's still more. Like, more actual information. So, that there is just, like, the person I drew. Interview number 1. So, 1998 ice storm, 2013 ice storm. The 1998 ice storm came out of nowhere. But the 2013 ice storm didn't come out of nowhere. Like, it was kind of predicted since... Well, anyways, in 1998, the winter wasn't as bad. And in 2013, the winter was way worse than the one near the other ice storm. So that's kind of how it was predicted. Like, it was way, way worse. And 1998 ice storm, there's not exactly as much of a power apparent delay. And the 2013 ice storm, like, the severity and power outage came out of nowhere, and the repairing was very long. And in the 1998 ice storm, like, there's not too much damage at all. And in the 2013 ice storm, it created havoc. And the 1998 ice storm, it was more like a snowstorm, and the 2013 ice storm was more like, it was the worst storm in Toronto since about 40 to 50 years. And since 1998 ice storm is more like a snowstorm, maybe I could call it 1998 snowstorm temporarily. So the 1998 snowstorm paralyzed the city for 2 days because of the snow, since everything else was basically under control. And the 2013 ice storm, there's no water or electricity for 5 days. And also, it feels like the ice storm where the army should actually come. And the 1998 ice storm, people were more upset during the ice storm. And also, it says interview, so it's obviously not my opinion or something from the internet. It's actually, well, your interview can be from the internet, but mine is like from a physical person. And then this is another interview here. 1998 snowstorm, 2013 ice storm. 1998 snowstorm was more snowy than icy. 2013 ice storm was more icy than snowy. For 1998, the power was out for a few hours. And 2013, Toronto was without power for a week. And in 1998, most of their surroundings were covered in snow. And 2013, trees were literally covered with ice, and branches, like lots of branches fell because of that. And then the 1990 snowstorm, the military actually came in because there was no more room to put snow. And in the 2013 ice storm, lots of hydro crews came in to help, like to fix the power outages. And in the 1998 ice storm, or snowstorm, they ran out of snow removal money. Like it was that snowy that they ran out of snow removal money. And the 2013 ice storm, like ice quakes happened, and it was very cold on most days. So more about how the military were involved in the 1998 ice storm. And the military mainly came in because the snow plows kept on having to push the snow to the side to clear it off the road. And eventually there was no more space to put the snow once it was cleared. So that's when the military came in to help. And the reason there was no more space was because it was Toronto and the streets were small. So this is basically my presentation, but I'll quickly go back and summarize some stuff. Like I'll summarize kind of what each side basically means. Like I'll put them in shorter words. So basically this is what it shows and stuff. So this is basically, they're saying that the government had to use a lot of money, and it was very severe in 1998 here. So as you can see, there are a lot of different things. And the government in 2013, they didn't have to pay as much money, and not as many bad things happened. So that's according to the internet. But here, for the people, it was pretty severe in 1998. And that picture there shows how much ice was on just an orange. And the people in 2013 ice storm, well, it didn't sound as severe, but it wasn't exactly really, really good. I mean, not as many people lost power. It was only 1.5 million, but yeah. So here's my point of view, and it wasn't much of one. So that's the fun facts. References, my bibliography. So here are basically my two interviews, my two interview/comparisons. Then more about how the military helped. And yeah, that was basically a recap on each of the sides basically. So thanks for watching and listening to me, and that was my presentation.